Hi, Sagittarius. I have a reading for you. I've been looking forward to doing your reading all day today, so I'm glad I finally can sit down and do this. What I'm seeing so far already in terms of energy is that you are in a season of growth and transformation. That seems to be the case for everybody right now. Not surprising, right? But you have this beautiful growth card and this pathway in your underlying energy. So it feels as though you are starting to walk down or have been walking down a pathway that is transformational for you, that is heading in this direction of this bright spotlight, this star. It feels as though this transformation and this growth has something to do with altering the very foundations of who you believe you are. In some ways, you may feel as though you're rebuilding your life from the ground up. There's something about these roots that are really drawing my attention today and your underlying energy. And then continuing with this analogy of roots and growth, in your underlying energy, you also have the Nine of Pentacles, which is all about growing your self-sufficiency, your abundance. You can see she's sort of been tending to the fruit on this tree. This is the Pentacles card. So the fruit on this tree really has to do with abundance. And then you had this Soul Journey card that came along with that, which is really cool because it's right underneath this pathway. So again, here's your path. And it's a transformation, it's a journey that involves you at a soul level. That's why I say it feels really foundational. This is not your run-of-the-mill journey. This is something deeper than that. Interestingly, underneath this card where she is growing the fruit on her tree, I hadn't seen this before. Underneath that in the deck is this beautiful Seven of Pentacles. This is you sort of growing this from scratch before it became a tree. It has me wondering if you've been at this for a while. In any case, in the first row of your reading, I had June pop out as a significant turning point. So maybe around June of this year, it started to feel like you were making some progress, or maybe it started to feel really as though this abundance is possible, as though some of these new roots are taking shape, or taking hold in your life. But for many of you, June may feel like it was a significant month. And if you're watching this video right away, we're currently in August. So that would imply that the summer has been a transformational time for you, at least behind the scenes in the undercurrent of your life. It feels as though this is the energy that you're entering this reading with. It's this Three of Wands where you're standing on the shore of your new beginning, looking out over the sea of possibility. And with this surfboard in hand, it feels as though you're more than ready to dive in. You're sort of like, I'm ready to go. Let's go. I got my surfboard and I've been preparing for a while. But it does feel as though it's a little more complicated than that. Maybe it doesn't have to be, but it seems there's something that you need to see that you're maybe having a hard time seeing right now, because you have this illumination card, which is all about truth. What this is saying to me is that there's something that's coming to your awareness, or that is trying to make its way into your awareness. There might be a difficult truth to face, something that you maybe haven't been wanting to see is trying to make itself known to you. Right next to this, you have this beginnings card. This to me is echoing a little bit of this, that you're standing on the cusp of this shift that you're heading toward, and you're holding what looks to be this illumination, this truth in your hands. What it would like to be able to do is light you up in this way. It feels as though it would really get you moving. But where it is right now is sort of being held in your hand, and her eyes are closed. She's holding it, which means it's dropped into her awareness at some level, but she's not looking at it yet. And that is echoed in this next row. So in the next row, I have this Two of Swords. And same thing, she's blindfolded. What I have written on this card for myself as a reminder is, what are you not willing to see? So again, there's something that's trying to show itself to you to illuminate this process, which I sense would really allow it to launch you forward. But for whatever reason, it might be a really difficult truth to face, or there might be some confusion right now that's casting a shadow around this illumination that's trying to make itself known to you. Interestingly, what I have underneath that is this protection card. Let's put the word protection aside for now and just look at the card itself. In this card compared to this one, this figure has their eyes open and there is this light of illumination that's literally entering their eyes. This figure is facing the truth completely. This to me feels like it's you when you're ready to turn toward the truth, where in this image you're turning away. So it's as though in this image, you turned your head toward the information coming in and you're facing it. And this card radiates strength. This figure has armor on. They don't look confused or afraid at all. Next to that, what I have is this is happening for you. So even though whatever this is might feel as though it would be safer to not look at, it seems like it might very well be the missing piece for you in the form of this gift. It's certainly not feeling like a gift here, right? Perhaps that's because she's not looking at it yet. She's blindfolded. When you do finally sit with this and look at it and open it and hold it in your hand and allow it to be fully illuminated for you, I sense that it's going to feel like a bit of a gift. That's the way that it's meant to operate for you. But the fact that you've been here implies that there is some shadow work needed here. There might be a pattern of not wanting to see fully the truth of situations around you. And it could be that that pattern has been around for a long time. And in fact, maybe that's why this is happening for you to begin with. This might be showing up on your soul journey path because you are being asked to walk this journey to heal something that's been around in your energy for a really long time. And it could be that now is the time. Next to that, in the next row, I have the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands to me in this row really signifies the moment that you allow the awareness to drop in. I have written on here, holy yes. So in essence, this is you saying yes to letting in this information. And it feels like when you do, it's going to put you at a bit of a crossroads. There might be a decision that you have to make around the information itself. There are some notes here that I had written down before your reading, and one of the things I had written down was, a half-truth is still a lie. The statement feels as though there's been some sort of deception, and I wonder if that's speaking a little bit about what this crossroads is about. Because the card that's underneath that is this extremes card. This card really encapsulates energy that has to do with navigating and handling extremes with grace. So to me, this says something about facing two paths that are very different from one another. For example, and this doesn't have to be your situation, let's imagine that one path has to do with staying in a relationship, despite the fact that maybe you've recently gotten information that was really disturbing about the person who you're in a relationship with, something that perhaps they've been hiding or only giving you half-truths about. And the other path being one where you draw a boundary and you say, no, I'm going to take this other path. I'm not going to allow myself to sort of sweep this under the rug when maybe I would have. I'm trying to think of an example where you'd be faced with kind of two extremes because this is a big decision and because you and this other person might have extremely different opinions about the situation at hand. This card seems to be wanting to remind you to handle moments like that with grace, to be able to sit in the heat of moments like that and allow that heat to burn away what is no longer real for you, what's no longer true for you, what no longer works for you. And we can only do that when we can tolerate a certain amount of discomfort and not run away from it, and also not do the opposite, which might be like losing your temper or something like that, which doesn't really allow you to sit in the heat and get the information that you need from it. This card sort of reminds me about the fact that anger, for example, as an emotion is not a bad emotion. It's what we often do with anger that gives anger a bad rap. When we can sit in the heat of anger, it will illuminate a situation. It will make the truth very well known to us, and it will allow us to be able to make a very informed choice about what to do moving forward. It's time to choose. When anger sets us off, the issue then becomes centered around how you responded to the situation, as it should. And energy gets focused around how you need to work on responding differently, which is true. But all of that energy now gets shuttled away from you sitting with the truth that your reaction was triggered by to begin with. So it might be that you never even really look at that information because instead you're busy working on handling your anger better. So this is, again, just an example to help illuminate a little bit of what I feel like this card is talking about. And it doesn't have to do with anger. It could have to do with something else entirely that has you needing to sit in the heat of something in order to allow information to really drop in and illuminate the path that's right for you. Okay, what I have next to that in the final row is interesting because I have the Ace of Pentacles along with the Seven of Wands, and they fell out together. So the Ace of Pentacles is sort of like a gift. It's the gift of a new beginning. And it reminds me of like these seeds, because in this card, it is a seed and he's planting seeds here. Remember, the seeds in your underlying energy eventually grow this tree of abundance. But here's the gift in your hands in the beginning with this fertile soil. It's already taking root here. And then Seven of Wands is a card that really speaks about protecting your energy from a hostile environment or difficult energies around you. When these two came out together, though, what I saw in my mind's eye is that this is you and that you are the gift, that you are what's being planted, you're what's growing, and that it's important to protect that. Because right next to that, I have you are a messenger, step up, step out. So in order to really nurture and grow this fragile seed into what it will eventually be, in order to pour care and attention into this new beginning, it feels like it's very important to protect your energy. I feel like, yeah, protection is on the table here too. In fact, it feels as though the truth that drops in this card is the protection in part. That you being able to see the truth is step one to you being able to protect your energy, because how can you protect yourself from something that you're not willing to see? This is you sort of in your own bubble. Once you are standing in your truth and you have made your choice, then protecting your process and what it is that you're growing. It's almost like this is a greenhouse that's shielding your growth from outside influence because you're needed as a messenger. And then what I have underneath that, rounding out your reading, feels as though it's an outside energy. What I have is this masculine and hope. And the way that I saw these two, because they also came out together, is that you are somebody's hope. But when I looked further into this energy, it felt as though this person is somebody who you need to sort of protect your energy from. It might be the person that you had to make a choice about to begin with. They might really see you as their saving grace, as their hope. But you're being asked to choose you here so that you can be a messenger. If you're diverting all of your energy and resource into this person who might be used to sort of like intentionally or unintentionally siphoning that off, it would make it really hard for you to grow what you need to grow to be the messenger that you're meant to be. And then next to those two cards, the hope and the masculine card, I had December come out. And it's interesting because this hope card is also called Yule. I don't know if you can see, but it's Yule and hope. Each card has two titles, and one of them is smaller than the other. This one's lunar god and masculine. This one is Yule and hope. I usually only pay attention to the bigger title. The smaller words speak to seasons, holidays, and things like that. But Yule here obviously is in December as well. So it seems like December is an important month with respect to whatever this energy is. It could be that this energy is going to be coming around again, or that you're going to have to face this choice point again. I feel like it's very common when we make a hard decision that the universe will test the fortitude behind that decision. It could be that you're being asked to back your choice up with I meant what I said sort of energy in December, but it feels as though it might be coming back around for you to revisit and either make a different choice or stick with the choice that you made. It could be that December means something else entirely. It might have meaning that only you know or understand at this time. But in any case, I feel like this is a super powerful reading. It feels really important for you to be aware that you're growing and cultivating something that seems as though it's going to bring you some beautiful abundance and be a source of abundance and hope for the people around you as well. But in order to get there, you will be asked to confront some of your shadow and some of the patterns that have maybe gotten in the way in the past. Okay, so I want to get you one angel number card, and we will be good to go for your reading. One angel number for Sagittarius. All right, what do we got here? We have 1155, self-reflection. Yes, change, confidence, and clarity. Your thoughts create changes in your life. Keep directing your thoughts toward what you want. If you see that the coming change is not what you want, you can stop or change it by correcting your thoughts. Maybe that's a little bit of why it's so important to protect your energy here. Because if she were to let in all of this energy, it would very much take the attention of her thoughts elsewhere. It's like she's wrapping herself in her own energy to focus it on what she's needing at this time on her journey, on her soul journey, which is taking her somewhere really important. I'm so excited for you and where it is that you're headed. Energetically, it feels really sacred, this journey that you're on. So I hope you'll continue forward and allow yourself and others the gift of what it is that you will be experiencing on your path, because you're a messenger. There's something important here that you're meant to do. I'll go ahead and end your reading there. Thank you again, and I'll come back with a new video soon. Take good care.